Dear Donald Trump, the modern left really likes deconstruction. Deconstruction of borders, of values, of gender identity and national identity. And there's actually some wisdom in this. Deconstruction is necessary for transformation. The permeability of boundaries between definitions, between identities, between nations. This permeability allows for transformation and synthesis of new ideas and new identities. You've countered this with a message of order, of reestablishing borders. Borders between nations, borders between identities, borders between genders. This is understandable, and people are receptive to it because they know that the radical deconstruction movement animating the left is reaching its limit. If we have no identity, have no boundaries, have no common orienting set of values at all that define us as a nation, we won't be able to defend against nations like China or religious movements like Islamic fundamentalism that do have a strong sense of identity and common orientation. They would conquer us. With this, I'm sure you'd agree. But you'd be even better off, and we'd all be better off, if you balanced your message of order and nationalism with a conciliatory appreciation of the left's philosophy of deconstruction. If we just have strict borders and strict definitions of identity, we can't evolve. We need to be able to deconstruct our traditions and identities, granted with more maturity and far less resentment than the modern left does, only deconstructing traditions for the purposes of understanding why those traditions were created in the first place, instead of assuming that all traditions and social norms were just made up to oppress people, as the most radical movements on the left seem to believe. We can make America great again, but we need to make it better than it ever was, not by going backward, clinging to old paradigms, and also not following the leftist philosophy of rapidly deconstructing every paradigm we can get our hands on. We need to create new paradigms that incorporate the deeper purposes of the old paradigms, something only possible if the origins of this country, origins of Western civilization, are understood and respected. In short, we need to balance our progression into the future with conservation of the wisdom of our past. We need a conservatism that respects the benefits of transformative progressivism, even though it's gone way too far in its current form. Only then can this country reconstruct its identity, instead of just desperately trying to revert to an old identity. The reanimated corpse of an old America may be more appealing than the vision the left has for their new America, but it's still not good enough.